Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing my layout for the September Scrap 5 challenge, and on the screen you can see the 5 items we're all going to be using today. I will go ahead and link everyone participating down in my description box. Now on my desk I have some photos here. I have this 4x6 photo of my grandson that I'll be documenting on this layout today, and this is part 1 of a 2-page spread. These 3 photos would be on the second page. Now, that second page will be uploaded to my channel in about a week. So depending on when you're viewing this video, it may or may not already be live. But I'll go ahead and link it in the description box. And if it's not there already, be sure to subscribe. Click on that notification bell so you'll know once I upload my new videos. So for my layout today, I'm using the Close to My Heart collection Smarty pants, and you can see I have the Picture My Life cards. I also have the paper pack and sticker sheet. And I am gonna go through the pattern papers right now and pick out the ones that I think goes best with my photo. Now my grandson is wearing that bright teal t-shirt, and this is a photo from the first day of school. He's now in 4th grade and he's there waiting for the bus. So I'm gonna decide to use that marble design as my background because I felt that was the one that made my photo pop the most. I'm also gonna pull in, I believe, 2 different designs featuring that teal color as well. Now the first thing I'm going to do is work on my background. I want to add a frame around that marble design pattern paper. So I'm going to use this Close to My Heart cardstock in the color Sapphire. And if you're familiar with Close to My Heart cardstock, you know that one side is darker than the other side. I am using the darker side here. I'm going to cut into that cardstock about 2 inches in and gut it, and that way I'm not going to waste a part of the cardstock. You're not going to see once I layer that pattern paper on there. And I can use it for matting my photo later on. So now I'm going to add a few layers behind my photo. I'm going to use this white cardstock to add a very thin border, first of all. And next up, I'll pull in that sapphire cardstock that I gutted before. And I'll add it to 3 sides. Now I do go in afterwards and just remove a bit off the right side, so it's just going down halfway instead of all the way up. Now it will look incomplete all the way around my photo right now, but I do go in and add small layers in just a little bit. But first I am gonna remove 1 inch off 2 sides of this pattern paper here. And I'm saving those strips because I'm going to use them once I go ahead and tear this pattern paper. But first I'm going to distress my paper all the way around using this Holtz Distressing tool. And one of the items we need to do on our Scrap 5 challenge would be to tear paper. So I'm going to remove 2 sides, part of the bottom actually, and part of the left side of my paper here. And the parts that's missing, I'm going to replace it using the flip side of those strips. Now I'm going to cut off the amount that I need to fill in the spaces, and I will distress it as well so that it blends in with the distressed edge of that black and white marble design. To add these in, I will flip my pattern paper over, and I'm going to line them up nicely, making sure the edges are nice and straight with each other. And also make sure that you're flipped on the correct side so that once you flip it over, you see the teal. I'm going to secure it using my purple tape here, and I'm going to do the same for the second part. And now once that's all done, I'm going to adhere it using my ATG adhesive to my sapphire blue cardstock. So my background is all ready now. So now I'm going through the Project Life cards here, and this is also from the Smarty Pants collection, and I am choosing this card here. It has some green and that sapphire blue, I love this card. It has a space to add my grandson's name, the school that he's going to, and also how old he is and what grade he's in. But I decided I didn't want to use it as a card next to my photo. I wanted to use it as strips instead. So I'm just trimming it down here, and you can see I'm also removing any excess at all, making the strips as thin as possible. And I'm gonna layer that, add it in next to my photo. I continue going through the cards. I grabbed this one here that I really like, and I wanted to use it, but it would just be too much on this layout here today. So I end up saving it and using it on the second page of this 2-page spread, which you'll see in my separate video. So now I'm going to add in my strip here. This is the border strip, manufacturer strip from that marble design paper. I used my T-square ruler, made sure it's nice and straight. And now I'm going to add some more layers around my photo. I'm using this teal grid design here, and that's going to be on the top and going down the right side of the photo. I'm also going to add in some of the blue sapphire to the top right. Then I'm going to put this aside and work a little bit more on my background. So now I pulled in another pattern paper. On one side there's like writing paper, and the flip side we have paper planes. I decided to go with the paper planes side, and I'm going to tear once again. Now once I do this, you'll see this part is a bit too large. It covers up too much of that black and white paper, so I decided to go with the smaller piece. And once I flipped it over there, I love the paper planes a lot more than the lined side, and I'm gonna adhere it. Now I really needed to go ahead and ink the edges, but at this moment I did not even think of that, and I went ahead and adhered down to my layout. So next up, I'll go ahead and pull in another item from our list, which would be to use washi. And I decided to create some flags to use on the layout today as embellishments. So you can see I pulled out some yellow washi, green, and I also have the teal blue. I pulled in some sapphire blue as well, but I ended up not using that one. Now I'm going to create the flags by folding the washi strip here. I am going to remove the part that I folded, then cut the ends to create those flags. And I went ahead and did the same procedure to do the flags for the green and the yellow. So I'm playing around with it right now. I'm adding it to the top here. They ended up just going behind my photo instead. And like I said, I do not use the blue. So next up, I worked on another item from the list, which would be to add some metallic to my layout. And I grabbed this metallic silver ink. Now adding it to the background, it's really subtle. You can see it better in person, but because this background is so busy, that marble design, it's very subtle on that background. You can see little specks of it on my blue cardstock. Now that added in some metallic. I'm also adding more metallic by using this silver metallic thread. And behind my photo I have some foam strips, which is gonna lift it off my background a bit and add some dimension. Now once I have that in place, I went ahead and tucked my washi flags under the silver metallic thread and behind my photo there. So you can see I'm adding in the green, teal blue, and the yellow. And I do the same for the bottom right side of the photo. Now I'm going to cross off what I already have on my list here, which would be metallic, washi, paper tearing, so now I'm going to remove this side of this pattern paper. I wanted to be able to see my cardstock border all the way around. So once I removed this, I went ahead, distressed the edge just a bit, and next I will go ahead and work a bit on my title. So I pulled out the sticker sheet. On the top it has that title that says "Ready to Learn," which is perfect for this layout. And that's gonna sit right next to my folder there. Now I added in some foam adhesive, so it's lifted off the page a bit, and then I decided I wanted to go ahead and ink the edge of my title, which will help it stand out a bit more than if I just laid it on the background without inking. So I'm using my Sapphire Ink Pad here from Close to My Heart. And I'm using my finger dauber there to go ahead all the way around that title. Once I did the title, I went ahead and inked the white based pattern papers on my layout here and around my photo. Definitely a lot easier to do if my paper wasn't already adhered to the background, but using the finger dauber was not too difficult. And it definitely helped define the layers on the background, and I love how it looks a lot better now. Another item on our list would be to use a punch, so I decided to use this notebook punch, and I wanted to use it on the pattern paper right above my photo. Of course, I already adhered my photo on my background, so now I'm gonna tear it up a bit, pull it up, and go ahead and punch just on part of that border around my photo on the top there. So now I'm pulling in a few more stickers. The one on the bottom says "Back to the Books." And we have a crayon, a red crayon, a yellow lightning, and a bit of red here using that little arrow. So one more item on our list would be to use a flare. I do not have a lot of flares, so I pulled out all that I had that would go with this layout as far as the color and design go, and I ended up just using one flare to the bottom left of my photo. And now I'm pulling in some stars, and these stars are from Close to My Heart. Once again, these are wooden stars. The pack there you can see have different sizes and shaped stars, and I'm going to adhere the ones that I pulled out using some liquid adhesive. It's just scattering a few of those around my photo and cluster. And I'm gonna pull in a bit more metallic using these silver sequins. Now this pack from Close to My Heart has different sizes of round sequins. There's also some stars in there, but those were clear. Definitely will not see those on this layout. So I went just with the silver ones in different sizes. Once I have them where I want them to be, I'm just adding a little bit of liquid adhesive behind each of them, and that will definitely hold them in place. So now I want to do some stamping and fill in these little strips that I added in before, which would serve as my journaling. So I'm using this stamp set from Close to My Heart. It's an alpha stamp set in a Whimsy design. I think it's actually called Whimsy Alphabet, and I will link it down below. It was perfect for this layout, and I'm using it together once again with that Sapphire Ink Pad. I flipped my layout upside down just to have it closer to me without reaching over the layout so you guys can see this part of the process. And I had no problems doing it upside down at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp out Jaden. And I'm also gonna stamp out the number 8 for how old he is, which is actually incorrect. He's 9, so I do need to go in, cover it up maybe with a little bit of gesso and restamp it with the correct number 9. Now I'm gonna use my blue micron pen and fill in the other spaces. I do not add the school. He's going to, just for privacy reasons right now, once this video is over, I will add that in. But it says I go to the space for the school he goes to, elementary school, and I am 8 years old. I need to change that to 9, and I am in 4th grade. So here I felt that J needed to be an uppercase J, so I used my blue micron pen just to add the line across instead of the dot that was there. And that's it for this layout. Now, don't forget, this is part 1 of a 2-page spread. Be sure to come back, check out part 2, which will be up in about a week. If it's already up when you're viewing this video, I will have it already linked down in my description box. I hope you guys enjoyed this project today. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget, check out the other ladies participating in the Scrap 5 challenge today. Their links will be down below. And I want to thank you all for watching. So until my next video, bye.